is a Thursday, and so far this week, every day there has been something noteworthy coming out of the BP Pulse EV charging project. So let's try to wrap our hands around what's actually happening here, because there is a lot of freaking activity. First off, we got notification that the Boston GigaHub is going live with a launch event, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. April 24th. If you're able to attend, you'll be able to participate. When I went to the launch event in Jacksonville, Florida, they had really good cookies. So I recommend the coffee. It was good coffee. It was a cold day. Maybe that's why the coffee seemed extra good. And the bakery cookies were very delicious as well. But there'll also be special introductory pricing at 36 cents per kilowatt hour, which is a little bit more than a dime less than what they charge at other places. So we have that to look forward to, in a brand new GigaHub launching into the eastern United States in the northern portion, well north of the New York City metropolitan area, just outside Logan International Airport in Boston. This is what the site looks like on last sounding. It's next to a Hertz. You see a bunch of tritium chargers over here, and the Albitronic hyperchargers are over here. So right next to the waterway. I understand Logan International Airport is just outside of the picture down there on the water. Dundee, Scotland is getting a really nice canopy because they don't want to be outdone by all the folks over in the United States getting their canopies. And the GigaHub in Logan is not getting a canopy, but other GigaHubs are, and some of the travel centers of America, I believe, are as well. But BP Pulse put in a canopy in London last month, and so apparently they're just not stopping there. They're going big with canopies throughout the United Kingdom. The next one has been spotted in Dundee, Scotland. Today, I got an email indicating that they're introducing what's known as time of use pricing, which I'm a big fan of as a old man American. I wake up early o'clock, and so I get, early bird specials at the restaurants, and I get time of use pricing at my EV charging stations. So while you all are sleeping, I'm getting electrons on the cheap. So big fan of time of use pricing. Quickly going over what the BP Pulse time of use pricing will look like. We don't know specifics. We know that the exact pricing per site will be different, and also the periods can vary by location. So it's not going to be specific across the board, and it's going to be tied also to the utility rates of which the site is located. Currently, we're pretty well standardized, and I'll go through what the pricing we have at about 48 cents per kilowatt hour, but this is going to be adjusted according to what's being described here, according to the utility rates and the fluctuation of those rates in individual locations. I think this is good because sustainability with the pricing model is an important part of building these stations to ensure that they're viable long term and that they don't just get abandoned as businesses that can't be operated for a profit. So having this being dialed in is actually an encouragement to me. I actually see this as someone on the back end indicating a change needs to be made in order to continue the viability of the services that are being offered. So, and as I said, I like showing up early in order to get discounted rates while you suckers are still in your beds. Additionally, this was a couple weeks ago, but even still, it's definitely noteworthy. BP Pulse had their budget curtailed, at least in the actually not in the United States, globally. BP Pulse had their budget curtailed by BP Corporate. But software as a service is not as capital intensive, and there's been multiple posts into LinkedIn. This one in particular was interesting. It's called Wilbash Distributors. And I think pretty soon there's going to be a video on out-of-spec bits that I did a deep dive into this particular station and the charging as a service product that BP Pulse is offering and where that stands in the marketplace and whatnot. So go check that out. Going over the project expectations, I think it's a way of describing it. 40 largest metros are going to get gigahubs at the airports, with the travel corridors filling in the connecting routes to those 40 metro areas with gas stations filling in around those metro areas with a densification effort with smaller station count. What I've been seeing is typically 4 stalls or 6 stalls at the gas stations, and the GigaHubs typically, according to this, has 40 stalls. From the map, we have a new one released in the social media. It's a little bit dated, but still, it's nice to see that the marketing team is still churning out slicks. And this is from the BP Pulse app showing their live locations. I'm going to go over the locations that we now know to be open, the Travel Centers of America specific locations that we now know to be open. I think there's a good collection of them that it takes, is a good time to kind of review what we actually have, because they also posted into LinkedIn how proud they are that they have now 4 of these locations open. And I have to agree, their progress has been pretty steady in the face of some pretty hefty headwinds. So kudos to the people at BP Pulse who are behind these efforts, still forging ahead. This is a news station in London, Ohio that just recently opened. The photos are courtesy of Sky Malcolm, who drives a Tesla. He also has an Acura ZDX. And you can see there the convenience store off in the distance and the 10 stalls, of which are split between J3400 and CCS1. This one is Richmond Hills, Georgia, on Interstate 95, just south of Savannah. I've actually been here before, but it was not open when I stopped by there. It was a pre-opening stop. I'll probably go here with some regularity because it's a bit of a blank spot as far as charging goes on Interstate 95. When you get into that South Carolina, Georgia area of 95, the charging gets pretty slim pickings. There is an Electrify America station, but it's pretty beat up and typically derated. St. Augustine, Florida. This is the one just south of Jacksonville that I visited for the ribbon cutting for the TA effort with much fanfare. With, as I mentioned, the bakery cookies, if you guys are fortunate enough to have those at the Boston Logan GigaHub launch event, this is where I can attest that I had them with very good quality control. That they were turning those up. But Albitronic hyperchargers, these are all CCS. You'll notice Interstate 95 as a reoccurring theme here. The last one is Elkton, Maryland, which is also on Interstate 95. This one is open as well, and we actually have a viewer who provided me a video walkthrough of this location. Let's go ahead and roll that film. These are what the locations look like in table form. These are the greenfield locations. Pause here for a second. I am marking the Logan GigaHub as currently open at 36 cents, but the date is in the future. These are the TA locations. And we actually just had one more spotted today, at least I spotted it today, by Artie Penguin over here near El Paso, Texas on Interstate 10. And let's go to those pictures. Construction has just started, and if you look at the check-ins here, Artie Penguin was there on July 17th, 2024, January 28th, 2025, nothing. And today, or I'm sorry, this was earlier this week, he has confirmed construction has started, and it was in the Texas database for a while, so we knew it was coming. And sure enough, there are the pedestals. Let's step through these pictures real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pedestals I see. Likely 10 stalls. That's where the transformer will go, according to Jacob. So early phases of construction. It looks like the cement is still wet here, so I'm thinking 2 months at least, probably after the 4th of July, before we actually see this open. Thanks for watching.